In the ancient kingdom of Owere-Nkwo, the moon ruled the night, and the drums ruled the people's hearts. Every evening, when the sun hid behind the red hills and the air smelled of roasted maize and dust, the sound of drums carried through the valley, steady, alive, and full of joy. But beyond the palace walls, under the same moon, another rhythm beat. The rhythm of a young drummer whose heart dared to dream above his station. This is the story of Adu, the humble drummer boy, and Princess Nneka, the daughter of the mighty King Obianuju, a love whispered in secret, but loud enough for the ancestors to hear. Princess Nneka was as radiant as the morning sun on fresh palm wine. Her laughter was music, and her beauty, a poem the court poets could never finish. Yet inside, she carried a quiet longing. The palace was full of gold, but empty of freedom. She watched from her window as villagers danced at night, the fire painting their faces in joy. She envied them, for they could sing, dance, and love without permission. Adu was born to a poor farmer and a weaver. His gift was rhythm. From the age of 6, he could make a calabash sing and a pot sound like thunder. When he drummed, even old men forgot their pain. But Adu's dreams were bigger than the marketplace. Each night, when the village slept, he climbed the hill overlooking the palace and played soft rhythms to the stars. He believed that somewhere in that palace, someone was listening. And indeed, someone was. Nneka couldn't sleep that night. From her chamber window, she heard a faint, pulsing drumbeat, soft but full of soul. Each strike told a story she somehow understood, of joy, struggle, and hope. Night after night, she listened. The rhythm became her secret friend, the sound that reminded her she was still human beneath the crown. She began to hum along quietly, her heart keeping time with the beat of a poor boy's drum. One night, curiosity conquered caution. The princess disguised herself in a simple wrapper, slipped past the guards, and followed the sound beyond the palace wall. There, under a palm tree lit by moonlight, she found him. The drummer boy, eyes closed, lost in his music. For a long moment, neither spoke. Then, quietly, she said, "Your drum speaks to the moon, and to me." Adu froze, realizing who she was. He knelt instantly, but the princess only smiled. "Please," she whispered, "play again." And as he played, her heart kept time, not with duty, but with love. Every night after, they met beneath the same palm tree. She brought him golden beads. He brought her songs. He told her stories of the village, of laughter and hardship. She told him stories of the court, of politics and loneliness. And together, they created something neither world had given them: peace. Soon, their secret rhythm became known to the wind, to the night birds, and even the ancestors who smiled above the stars. But secrets, like drums, cannot stay silent for long. One night, a guard followed her and saw everything. By dawn, the story had reached the king. His face darkened like storm clouds over the hills. "A princess of Owere-Nkwo," he thundered, "cannot love a common drummer. She is the pride of the throne, not the shame of it." Adu was seized. His drums were broken before his eyes. He was to be banished beyond the river, forbidden ever to return. Nneka begged and wept, but her father's heart was iron. As Adu was dragged away, he shouted, "My drum will still call for you, princess, even if my hands are gone." That night, the sky wept with them. Thunder rolled like angry drums. The river swelled beyond its banks. Crops were washed away, huts destroyed. The land itself cried out. The elders whispered that the gods were displeased, for love was pure, but pride had polluted the throne. The king, frightened, summoned the priests. They said, Only the rhythm that first called the princess can calm the storm. But the drummer was gone. Far away, Adu heard of the disaster. Weak, broken, yet filled with courage, he carved a new drum from the fallen tree near the riverbank. He walked back through the storm, guided by the sound of thunder that echoed his heartbeat. When he reached the palace, he began to play, a rhythm deeper than fear, louder than punishment. The rain softened, the wind bowed, the storm began to sleep. And the people of Owere-Nkwo came out to listen, their hearts beating as one. The king stepped forward, his robes soaked, his crown dimmed by rain. He looked at the drummer boy, then at his daughter, who ran into Adu's arms, uncaring of titles or eyes. The king sighed. A man who can command the sky deserves to command respect. He lifted his staff and declared, "From this day, let rhythm and royalty walk as one." And so the drummer boy became the royal drummer, keeper of the kingdom's spirit, and husband to the princess who had heard his heart before she saw his face. Years later, when their children played in the palace courtyard, the old drum still hung in the hall, silent but alive. For it was said that on quiet nights you could still hear it echo, a reminder that love, when true, needs no crown to be royal. Subscribe for more timeless African folktales.